All right, so we're live. Fright Night with Ferocious. So we already kind of started behind the scenes. Um, we're gonna talk about the poster because I really like the poster, even though it doesn't look exactly like Trolls. But we'll discuss it in a minute. So how we do intros? Presto. Start with you.
It's good to be back. I missed last week. Last week I went to Washington D.C. I went to Awesome Con. So I went Friday and I just went sightseeing. I went to a Washington Nationals baseball game. Got third row for $32 and met some cool people. Then I went to the con Saturday. I mainly went for the Ninja Turtle reunion. So I met Kevin Eastman, who was the first one to draw Ninja Turtles, which was a huge bucket list for me. And then like Orlando Bloom, Liv Tyler, Nick Frost, Simon Pegg were there. It was huge. It was the largest con I ever went to. So that's what I was busy doing last week, and here I am to review Trolls 2.
Yeah, I saw all those nice pictures that you sent me to make me jealous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wait
I
till
saw them.
I'll send you some of the food I had. You'll really be jealous.
All right, Fuzzy, you go ahead.
Oh, I'm glad to be here with you guys to discuss this abomination of a movie. But I'm going to
Ooh.
take the
No, he's not.
mystery science theater 3000 approach to it. So we'll see how this goes. But
That was my mistake.
mhm. But other than that, just we got to see an early viewing of Drop, which is a pretty good movie. Not really a horror movie, but kind of a thriller type of deal. So if you're into uh, I don't know, it's definitely worth the watch. I'll just put it at that. So at some point, I guess we'll do that as a review type of deal. But other than that, just been playing some games. A little game called South of Midnight, pretty cool, heavy adult themed as far as tragedy and loss and things like that. But still a cool game nonetheless. Other than that, just glad to be here with you guys, and we're gonna have some fun tonight.
All right. So Cipher.
All right. Well, I didn't go to any awesome con, and I haven't really played too much more South of Midnight, although what I have played I've really enjoyed. But I have been playing this new game. It's like a roguelike, but it's a card game. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Balatro. Um, that's been a lot of fun.
Tell us about that.
Funny you should ask. No, that continues to take over my life. I've been having lots of fun with that. I've been working on just finishing up some of the easier difficulties, and I also watched. I watched some really shitty movies this week, and I watched some really good movies. You'll figure out which ones they are as we go. But I did watch The Companion this
Mm,
week, which was really good.
that was
I
a good
enjoyed that
one.
one. And I got my wife to start watching The Monkey, which,
Ah,
which
Nice.
already is a very entertaining experience watching her responses to everything that's happened. I feel like a couple times she's just been like, "What the fuck? what are we doing?" So yeah, I've gotten a few movies in, played some games. Been a busy week, but looking forward to talking about this abomination, as Fuzzy mentioned earlier.
Sneaking that in. Anyway, so yeah, we Fuzzy and I went to go see Drop the advanced screening this past Tuesday. Uh he really didn't know anything going in. I kind of looked at some of the trailers and stuff like that. I think Fuzzy, you looked up on IMDb or something like that.
Yeah, just before going in, I at least wanted to see the trailer because I had no idea or I hadn't heard of it prior to that night.
Yeah, so there we go. You back?
I'm back.
Okay. So we went in and we didn't see a huge crowd. and we had gotten there after 6, right?
Yeah, about yeah, just after 6.
Yeah, just after 6. So so we were I came straight from work to home, and then we went up there, and we were kind of running a little late, and but when we got there, it didn't seem like a huge crowd or anything like that, so we were kind of weary, I guess. But when we got in and everything and the movie started, it was actually really good. We didn't see a lot of press there, which, there should have been more. I think sometimes, the big movies that are supposedly coming out that are great get a little bit more fanfare than ones that everybody kind of doesn't think it's going to be good. And I think that's a shame. I think sometimes this is a new concept, and I think a lot of people didn't think it would go very well, but it did. It makes a lot of sense how they set up the plot. Just when you're in the opening, because I mean, you've seen the trailers and stuff like that, and in the opening, it's set in a restaurant, and it's set in a restaurant that's very pricey, called Palette. And when you go in, it's a date. It's kind of like a Tinder kind of date. So they know each other, but they don't know each other. And we already know from the trailer and stuff like that that this woman is here, and they're airdrop this somebody else is airdropping her stuff to do things and to kill her date. That is the plot. But it's how she does it, and how everything that's laid out, and what this person is doing and telling her to do. That's what's great about it, because it's realistic, and the person has kind of looked at all of the angles on what she could do and how she could try and get out of it. And that's what is good about this movie. So I think everybody should go watch it. Um and everything. So while I told you the plot, I didn't tell you all the details. So that's kind of strange of me, but I really want you to go see this movie. Oh my
Deal.
Yeah.
god. All right. So
Fine.
fine. You guys will really like it. Seriously. I didn't think really anything that I would like it. I just thought it would be kind of a nice thriller and everything like that. But it was unique. I'll give you that. It was unique. It's not like what I would say, a masterpiece or anything like that. But it was unique, and it was a nice spin on, what would be normally a mundane kind of act or action that we would do.
And you said that was called what again?
Drop. It's just
Drop.
drop.
Okay.
One
Okay.
word, drop.
Cool.
And the actors were pretty good. I was getting a little, so when I was looking at the guy, her date, I'm like trying to figure out, have I seen this person before? But he's actually a cross between um Bradley Cooper and the guy that looks like him. Um that's kind of like the person you get when you can't get Bradley Cooper.
The
B
Wish
movie
version?
stand-in.
Yeah.
The
That's
Wish
kind of like the
version.
stand-in.
Poor guy.
So I think his name's Ed Quinn. Yes, let me just make sure. So there's a guy that kind of, yeah, it's he kind of he's a little bit older than I think Bradley Cooper, but he looks generally like he could be his family member, like a cousin or a brother or something like that. And this guy kind of looked like a cross between Ed Quinn and Bradley Cooper. So
This film is
I mean, that was,
PG-13. Interesting.
yes.
Interesting.
hmm there's not like a lot of blood or anything like that. There of course is action. There of course is going to be a lot of back and forth. Um but it's not, like I said, a lot of blood. It's not a lot of extreme violence or anything like that. So you could take your teenager to this.
I mean, to be
And
fair, I took my teenager to the monkey also.
yes.
So that's
That
not going to
And
stop me at this point.
that
Yeah.
explains a
yeah,
lot.
yeah,
It
and I
does, doesn't it? That family dynamic.
Yeah.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
Stay in
I
Utah,
think
please.
yeah, there's definitely less violence than than the monkey.
Damn it. All right.
It's good. It's good. I think everybody should go see it, or when it comes out on streaming, they should see it. All
For
right.
sure.
Yep. So we're gonna talk first.
About the movie of the century, the sequel.
So we're gonna first talk about the poster, because I know when you clicked on YouTube and you saw that poster, some of you watched Troll 2 before, some of you watched Troll before, and we had a hard time. Fuzzy really had a hard time trying to get it to match up with the Trolls in Troll 2. Now, somebody said our trolls look a little bit better than Troll 2. But I want you guys to look at the troll on the left. We all know that does not look like a troll. Don't worry about the guy in the back, the troll in the back on the right side. I don't know what's going on with his teeth or his tongue. But I want to introduce you to Snacky Monkey. He looks to me like a monkey that is really upset because his trainer took his snacks away. So his new name is Snacky Monkey. Just throwing that out there.
Looks
I
like
don't know.
Presto after we make belittling comments about Troll.
It's okay. I got big shoulders.
Your
Yeah.
back must be hurting after trying to carry the name of Troll for so long.
Yeah, it was hard using AI to try to make a picture that looked remotely close to it. Most of the trolls in the beginning were looking more like the ones from Troll 1, like the ones growing out of the grass apartments or whatever. But yeah, finally got it to make something look somewhat decent and not like completely absurd. And yeah, that's what we kind of settled on with the Trolls in the Woods kind of deal. But yeah,
Well, I
thanks,
think the
AI.
guy. I think yeah, I think the troll in the back that looks like he's like missing part of his um tongue or his teeth or whatever. That kind of reminds me of what was that movie? The Hills Have Eyes too. And The Hills Have Eyes. That's kind of what that looks like to me.
Hmm.
One of those cannibal type
Well,
trolls.
I I gotta say, I know it may not have turned out exactly how you were hoping, but I think compared to other things, it looks like money was actually spent on that. So good job.
Uh,
So
It's
you telling me
okay.
I should have paid Fuzzy?
Yes,
Isn't our teeth?
pay him in meatballs, just like what the grandma did in Wedding Singer.
Hmm. Hmm.
man, oh man. No,
Some people just don't understand it, Fee. I guess that's all it
I
is.
know. I
uh,
know. I know.
You
Well,
hate us because you ain't us.
well,
I hear you.
let's talk a little bit about Troll first,
Mhm.
because I'm sure more people have seen Troll than Troll 2.
Oh
It'd be,
yes.
it'd be interesting. Maybe.
Well,
So,
given the box office, I think we know that for sure.
well, okay. So, does everybody know who Michael Moriarty is?
No.
No,
He
I
was in
think I know
Trolls
who
Okay.
he is.
1.
Yeah, but I don't know actors and actresses' names, but I
Okay.
think I know which guy you're talking
So,
about. The guy from L.A. Law, or not
okay.
L.A. Law, but
So the
Law and
Law and
Order or
Order.
something.
Law and Order. Okay. So the guy that played in Law and Order. All right. He was the lawyer, right?
Mhm.
Now he at one point got blacklisted a little bit. I don't know why. I don't remember the story or anything like that. But before he did Law and Order, he did this. Troll. He was the dad in Troll. Everybody saw his dancing skills, right?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. But I just, when he was playing in Law and Order, he sounded so good when he did his lines, but they didn't play very well when he did them in Troll with the same voice and the same speech pattern. So yeah, um, that didn't work out too well for him. But besides that, he was the only person that had a name. Everybody else in the film didn't really go very far after it. But it was supposed to be a cute little fantasy kind of horror thing. I wouldn't even call it really horror, but it was definitely supernatural. It was definitely supposed to be a fantasy, a little comedy in there. But when I was a kid, this was horror to me. This was, a safe thing that your parents could show you that was going to have a little bit of action, a little bit of suspense and things like that in it, and it was safe for everybody to watch. Sonny Bono was in this as well. I
Yeah.
forgot about him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So his character. How you guys feel about Sonny Bono playing in this?
I,
The swinger upstairs.
I did not realize that he was in this, and then when I realized that, it made it even better. That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, between him and Malcolm,
Mm-hmm.
like there was some very interesting
Mm-hmm.
energy in both
Mm-hmm.
of those characters.
Yeah. So
But
now,
quick side note though, you said that people in this didn't go off and do anything for the most part. Julia Louis Dreyfus begs to differ.
Oh yeah, that's right.
well, I'm
And
gonna be
the
honest with you. TV,
Yeah, she's done TV and movies.
but I didn't really like her movies.
so that means she didn't do
Just because you
nothing.
didn't like her movies doesn't
Oh,
mean she.
She was
that's
what?
a
National
that's a
Lampoon. What else was she in?
Oh
oh
my
gosh.
god.
Oh,
What else was she in?
that is a disservice right there
Wait,
if
what
I've ever
was
heard one.
Seinfeld. Oh,
Well,
that's
That's
Seinfeld,
TV.
TV. Besides
enough's
Sorry.
TV,
what was the movie where they were the
enough
neighbors and
said.
she?
Veep.
What was the? What was the movie where they were the neighbors and she was telling the boyfriend to go over there and complain about the noise
that
and then?
was Christmas
That was
Vacation.
Christmas Vacation.
Oh,
That
She
was
okay,
was
yeah.
she
Christmas
was also
Vacation.
in recent stuff. She was in like Black Widow. I think she was in the new Falcon movie, if I remember correctly.
Man,
Okay,
She's been all over the place.
too bad 170 episodes of Seinfeld or 57 episodes of Saturday
That
Night Live don't
wasn't
carry
enough
any
to get
weight.
all right.
a
Look,
yeah.
look, look.
Yeah,
Damn.
what is
88 episodes of another TV show. She sucks.
In Black Widow, she was uncredited for her role.
Yeah,
They didn't
she
give
was
well
a
her credit in her role.
she was a
sounded
spy. She can't be known.
sounded
And
like
she
they
can't
gave her as
be.
much credit as you just gave her. Shit.
I'm sorry.
She's
I
just
just
that random brunette lady that's been around in
exactly.
films for 40 years. Ignore her.
Yeah, pretty much.
The
Pretty
kid,
much. She has all these bit parts in
No. Oh,
everything.
God.
the kid in First Trolls was the kid in Neverending Story.
Yeah, it was freaking, oh, God, what was his
Wait a
name?
minute, wait a
Atreyu,
minute, wait a
right?
minute. Which kid in Neverending Story?
The one with the horse.
Well, not, no. Okay, to be clear, he didn't have a horse in Troll. He had a horse. He had a horse in Neverending Story.
Yes.
And where
He
did
was Harry
he
Potter
swear?
Jr., wasn't he?
Yeah, in the movie.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, of which I am really surprised
He
that
was
there
Arturo,
aren't.
right?
What?
Yeah, he was Arturo.
Are you just making up names now and just
No,
throwing?
no. It was Harry Potter Jr.
Are you talking about
Who?
in?
The
Okay,
Yeah,
now
kid,
we're
the
his
kid that
confused.
was
character's
in
name was
Neverending
Harry Potter
Story.
Jr. Yeah,
Yeah.
his character's name in this was Harry Potter Jr., and his
Right.
father was Harry Potter Sr.
Yeah.
In the
Is it?
never-ending story, his character was Arturo.
No, it was a Atreyu
Atreyu, that's what it is.
or Atreus or something.
No, it was Atreyu. It's Atreyuu. So
Like the
Okay.
you had
Yeah.
band.
to. It was
Yeah,
the
like the
first time.
band.
But
Except way better than the band.
but let's look at all of the things he's done since then.
Oh my God, you are
Okay,
brutal today.
okay. Oh, okay. That's fair. He has
Wildfire.
done very little, but Julia Louis Dreyfus.
I'm sorry. She.
I'm sorry. 2,000 credits to her name means nothing to me
What
because
do
it's
you mean
television.
2,000? Let me
The
see the
disrespect.
2,000 credits.
She's
I rounded up a
oh god.
little.
Oh, you
Yeah, a little
rounded
bit.
up a
A little
little?
bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. There is actually somebody that hit, I think, 1,000 credits. He did bit parts in pretty much everything in like the 80s and 90s, and wound up with I think almost 1,000 credits or something like that.
Yeah, there's
Dan-
a
Danny
few
Glover,
now at this point that oh good god, yeah.
Samuel
Yeah,
L.
the 80s and
Jackson.
90s were pretty aggressive for him. My goodness.
Yeah. Come on, she's how did you go from how did we go from what 56 credits to like 2,000? How'd that
I
happen?
Because of how many
IMDb
seasons?
Oh, how many? Oh, because of how you're counting okay,
Episodes.
IMDb
individual
is saying
episodes that
that
have.
it's taking longer than usual to load her profile. So I'm
Oh,
guessing that's
really?
because she's a star compared to everyone else in that film.
Okay, I'm just letting you know. It took me a matter of seconds to load her
Oh,
profile.
finally load. Yeah, my
I
internet
think it's
must
your
be amazing.
internet. I
Yeah,
think it's your
Utah internet. Thanks, Comcast. Assholes.
Blame it on
As you take a
Utah.
long walk off a
Oh,
short
it's
cliff.
it's Comcast. Definitely Comcast. Because yeah, I never again. Verizon
Yeah,
all the way.
Comcast is a big old sweaty bag of dicks. I am. As soon as I get the opportunity to swap to a different provider, I will. Hey, it really sucks though because everyone's expanding out around us with fiber, and they haven't hit our area yet. I'm just like, I'm waiting for that time when I can click the button and say goodbye.
Mm-hmm. No, but I mean, I like some of the people that were in this, but I'm just gonna be honest with you. Most of them didn't really go on to big screen, you know, actors. But I did see
True.
Jenny Peck in something else. Let me see. She was in V. That's what it was.
Oh,
She
V.
was in V.
That was a good miniseries. That was
Yeah, I really like that one too. I mean, she did some stuff in Roseanne, the TV series. A lot of one episode parts, basically. V was, I think, her biggest TV role. She played, I think, 3 episodes in TJ Hooker when she was a kid, 2 on Falcon Crest, 1 on Matlock, 1 on Give Me
dang.
a Break.
Makes sense that she would stand out more than Julia Louis Dreyfus. So
Yeah, I know. But she was in 56 episodes from 1988 to 1991 for Paradise. Never heard of it. What is Paradise? Looks like a Western.
I think we angered Presto. He's gone quiet.
I'm soaking this all in. I can't believe I'm just, yeah.
I need another drink.
Yeah. I'm waiting to discuss this movie.
So, Troll.
The original one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
I
So why do you like Trolls so much, Presto? Unlike the other two people on this podcast.
Trolls. I Troll the first one. It was just a very trippy movie. Like I've seen it only a couple years ago, so I'm a little late to it. But I think I saw it when I was younger because there were some scenes I was like, I think I remember this. Like I remember that little stubby tree that talked in Troll, and I was like, or am I confusing that with Wizard of Oz with the trees that throw the apples? I'm not sure,
Mm-hmm.
but like I remember the troll and like the lady that lived upstairs that had like the whole crazy forest in her apartment thing going on. So when I found out there was a Trolls 2, I thought this was a sequel. So let me check it out. And it was the furthest thing from a sequel with the same
Mhm.
name in the title. So when I suggested this movie or whatever, I tried to make it a point that I was like, if you're going to watch Trolls 2, you got to watch Troll 1 just to see how, like, nothing in common they really have
Mhm.
and experience it that way. Because I feel like if you just go in and watch Trolls 2, it's just like, you won't get the full effect. You need to watch the first one and then the second one and then really make your opinion about what you just watched, or take a moment and gather yourself and digest what you watched, because I feel like it's a cult classic. I mean, they have conventions and everything. Well, they used to at
Mhm.
least about it. So I know others in this chat or on this pod might have a little different opinions. I guess they don't appreciate masterpieces, but we'll let them speak
oh
for themselves.
no no no. I will totally agree with you. There's very little that connects one and two together. Uh,
There's
so
nothing.
much so much as like a filmmaker created both, and they are both films, and they have trolls, and I think that's about as far as they're very closely connected, and then they separate pretty drastically.
I mean, the second one, are they even called trolls or aren't they called goblins or something? Like, I don't
They're
even think
called
they're.
goblins.
Yeah, I don't even
Goblins,
think they're
yeah,
called
yeah,
trolls in the second one.
Yeah.
yeah.
They're goblins.
Genius,
They
genius.
they probably didn't want to get nailed with a lawsuit or something for trying to steal the beloved troll's name.
So we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. Okay. So has anybody looked at any of the trivia on IMDb? Now I watched the documentary on this thing, but
I watched.
Did anybody look at the IMDb trivia stuff?
No.
No, I
No,
think I watched the
don't get me wrong.
documentary on Amazon, Amazon Prime.
Yes.
I think it was on.
Mm-hmm.
That was a
All right.
riot.
Is
All right.
is
So
is it worth
let's just
watching?
Well, you watched the first two, so I'd say yeah.
Fuck. Okay.
It just
No,
to
it
see
actually is.
the underground success this film like took on, like almost like
Mm-hmm.
Blair Witch Project, just not nearly as popular as Blair Witch was, but just how like it has this following, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I can't explain it. It's what a time to be alive when that one came out. Whew. State of the art CGI. Oh, I don't know. Actually, no CGI. State
No,
of
there
the
was
art
no CGI in this.
costumes and food coloring,
Mm-hmm.
and just had everything you
Mm-hmm.
wanted in a movie.
All right, so let's look at some of the trivia for this thing because I mean the documentary said so much more about this, but so let's look at the acting, right, of the people that let's talk about the acting first.
Oh boy.
Who's the worst actor in this?
Does all of them count?
The
No, you gotta
daughter.
pick one.
I think the
The
Dude,
daughter
The
was
daughter.
bad.
daughter.
the daughter was horrible.
The
Okay,
daughter,
so
like
let me.
the daughter used every chance to like make fun of the boyfriend and like belittle him and just like picking me or you, and just like her lines are just so awkward and like cringy. Like
Okay, All right, so listen up about the cast, okay? So the entire cast went to a casting call hoping to be extras and ended up in the lead roles.
Amazing.
Yep, that
Okay.
checks out.
All right, so let's talk about their dialogue, okay? So the director and his wife only spoke Italian. So when they put the script together, they it was in very poor English because they were trying to, translate it, right? The actors wanted to actually ad lib things and they were basically ordered to read the lines as written. And the
That
guy that
explains it.
the dad, right? So the dad, how he got his role was, when the kid, basically the first time around when he spoiled the opportunity for them to eat, that
Yeah.
yeah, that one line, right? Everybody in the room pretty much only spoke Italian. So he delivered that line where he was pulling on his belt and everything with so much energy that they just gave him the role based on that. They didn't even understand what he said.
I love how he was like basically like challenging his son, like, oh yeah, you want to do this? I'm tightening my belt so I don't feel my hunger pains. And it's just
Dude,
like, okay, here we
dude,
go. Dad, you're
that belt
flexing on your kid. Like,
that can I just say
Nuts.
that belt scene, I was afraid we were about to go somewhere really dark with this film. Like when he reached down there and he started wrangling around, I was like, what the fuck are we doing? Like things went to a place. I was like, this is about to get really dark. And
that's the,
unfortunately they didn't go there, but man, I was nervous. Oof.
that's
Yeah.
the director's cut.
The director's cut.
Yeah.
I figured
The
he was going to
director's
get a beating
extended.
or something, but like,
Nope.
yep, I'm tightening my belt to
Because of
squash the hunger pains.
pains.
Like, what in the
Yeah.
world?
What a
But that's
great
what got him
What
his
a
scene.
quote.
role.
What a quote.
Well, see, I want to go back to the aspect that these people signed up originally to be extras. What made the original selected cast be like, you know what? I'm out. Like, see you
Maybe the
bye.
Well,
No,
They
maybe
they
had to
they
pick
weren't.
from the extras.
they really
So,
sucked at acting, incidentally. So they chose these people because they were amazing.
But here's the thing: they didn't know what they were saying. So how they're basically their mannerisms and what they did caused these people that only spoke Italian to want them to be in the film, basically. But they didn't understand a word that was coming out of their mouth.
Man.
which
Or
means
why
this
uh,
they didn't
movie is that
interpret
much more great that
Oh,
they were able to
oh,
make a movie that flowed so
it. Uh-huh.
smoothly like
oh,
this.
fuck.
thank God they didn't have Peter Griffin as one of the
Oh,
people, because that would have spoiled the whole energy.
yeah.
I don't know how you make a film in English when you can't speak English. Like, they managed to pull it off. I mean, kudos to them,
Uh,
because
Okay.
I could not imagine trying to make an Italian film not knowing Italian. There's no way, and to not understand what the people are saying, or
yeah.
this is before the time of like Google Translate. So yeah,
Mm-mm.
I don't. Kudos to them. They deserve an award for that. But the
Okay.
rest of the story,
Okay. So before we talk about the story, I just want to highlight Don Packard. Right? He was the guy that Jason Stedman, his character comes in. He's one in the yellow t-shirt. So Jason's character comes in and he's the guy that's selling. He's the shop owner and he's the one that gives him the milk for free.
mm-hmm.
He said that was like a really weird time for him because when he watched those scenes, everything, when he watched the movie and he saw himself, he had been in and out of a mental hospital during the filming. So some of those times he was not acting.
Man.
Some of those times he was like in that bad place that he should have gone back to the hospital.
Yeah, put some respect on that name, you two.
I mean, he seemed like he was doing a pretty good job. I feel like the director should have gone to that mental institution instead.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So let me tell you. So Rosella Drudy, I think that's what her name is. That's the wife of the director, right? So she was the one that came up with the script. Yeah, she came up with it. And
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why she wrote this thing. So her friends were all becoming vegetarians at the same time, and that's what she wrote about.
Because they were becoming vegetarians.
Yes, that was the whole plot.
You
Is
know,
all of her friends were becoming vegetarians, so she wrote a movie about trolls that would
Eat people.
that would cause people to be um put in a state where they became not meat but basically vegetables. You saw the part with
Yeah.
the whole tree, the kid becoming a tree and stuff like that.
yeah.
That was the whole point of this thing.
What about the first guy that gets transferred and looks like he's in a penis chrysalis, and then all of a sudden expands out to a whole bunch of plants and shrubbery everywhere.
Yeah, that was original Troll. I'm talking about Troll 2.
Oh, I thought we. Oh my God, we're
No, we were
bouncing
talking
back
about
and
Troll
forth.
2.
Oh man.
Yeah. So the whole troll thing, that was just to be. So let's rewind and the differences between Troll and Troll 2. So Troll 1 was just simply kind of a fantasy based what they call it. So the original story treatment, Torak was a monster who was systematically killing off the inhabitants of the building, slasher movie style. Um, However, he wanted to create a PG-13 movie, so the story was altered and the fantasy element created. So it was he was trying to kind of have a fantasy feel to have this person, well, this troll Torak was supposed to go back to his previous life. Basically, he wanted the whole world to be fairies and trolls and everything like that, and he was just getting back to that. And then his previous wife, the woman, that the witch, she was actually supposed, I don't know if they actually got married or not, but they were definitely, she was a princess and he was a prince. And they basically were saying, okay, well, the two kingdoms were supposed to come together. As you know, prince and princesses didn't actually marry for love. They married for expansion of territory, basically. And that was the whole storyline. And it was supposed to get back to that kind of connection between the fantasy world and the real world merging together. That was the whole point to this, to Troll. Troll 2, on the other hand, was about people becoming vegetarians. Kind of weird, right?
Which makes the
Mind
movie so
blown.
much more of a classic that
Yes.
this woman cared enough about her friends that made a whole movie to try to convert them.
She was so pissed that everyone else around her was a meat eater that
Mm-hmm.
she
Yeah.
tried to make basically a scared straight video to scare them away from eating meat. It's amazing.
No, she was trying to scare them from being vegetarians.
I mean, at all,
What?
no matter what,
Okay.
no matter what you think of this movie, I think it's safe to say that if you take anything away, you could bring corn on the cob into the bedroom
Oh
and
fuck.
do
Oh
some
man,
stuff with it, and
Yeah,
not even
yeah.
what you're
Spoilers.
thinking.
dude, that corn on the cob.
That was
My
special.
God.
It
It
was
made popcorn and yeah. That was,
I
It
mean,
did something with that corn afterwards too.
the fact
That
they
was a
were both
lot of
nibbling
corn.
on it, making out, oh, it was magical. It
hmm
was,
Magical.
That
I
that
was
was
about
a
to
lot of popcorn.
if I was single, I know what I'd always be carrying around with me. Corn on the cob.
corn.
about to whistle my rape whistle when I saw that shit happen. My goodness gracious. Bad things were about to happen.
Yeah, no, I think I'll just give you this. The highlight of the film for me was the first meal at the house where the kid was like, I gotta stop him from eating. I got Grandpa, I gotta stop him from
Yeah.
eating, and he just ruins the meal. But that was like the highlight for me.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I do have like this weird question because I know some people do Airbnb and stuff like that, but in the '90s, I don't really remember people taking a vacation where they do a house swap. Like I've heard of wife swap, I've heard of job
Oh,
swap, but like,
Whoa.
but house swap was just I can't imagine just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to this farm town or this you know rural area and give up my house and live in their house for a bit and whatnot, and then to notice that they didn't leave. They were like, oh, we had car trouble, we're leaving tomorrow. Like,
Yeah, yeah. When he found out about that and approached them about it, and they gave him that non-answer, he was not phased whatsoever about that. And I feel like that's one of those moments where it's like, all right, GTFO. As soon as you recognize, oh hey, the inhabitants of this place didn't leave, and they left us a whole bunch of green food.
Hmm.
Like, what are we doing here? Get out!
the best.
Like,
The best is how each bedroom door had a piece of paper with their name on it and like crayon, like just taped there. Like,
yeah.
it's like, oh, that's my bedroom. I forgot.
They wanted to organize it so as they went through and systematically turned each one into a troll, they knew which room to go into later. It's fine.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Genius.
So we're just trying to feed them ice cream.
The funkiest ice cream. My goodness.
Yeah, that.
And what's with all the freaking non-refrigerated milk?
Well, it doesn't need to be refrigerated. Did you not see when they were pouring it out how it
It
looked like
was
mashed
it was
potatoes?
fucking chunky. Yeah.
It was
It looked
not
like
cheap.
baby food. It was disgusting.
It's compared to the other food they were eating, like looking delicious.
I mean, the kid earlier did him a favor by pissing on all the food previously. To be fair.
Well, they didn't realize that until halfway through the movie when they realized that that food was probably the previous people that took advantage of their hospitality.
Mm.
I mean, it's like a McDonald's burger. It doesn't go bad, right? Like 10 years later, you can leave it out on the table and it looks the same. That's what
Oh,
they did with the
God.
food here.
Yeah, but there was no time lapse seeing that Mac, a Big Mac 10 years later. That just
Oh, God.
I get the symbolism of the green on the food, but it's like,
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Unrefrigerated milk would have been a telltale sign to me that oh, it's free. Oh, okay. I think I'll leave
Nothing
this
is
here and just
ever
head back.
free.
Yeah, go back in town because nobody's giving away free milk. Well, except for I guess the unrefrigerated stuff. Which yeah, I could see if it was in a can, like the evaporated milk or something. But
Mhm.
no.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
because it's been pasteurized, but like if you're gonna go out into the middle of bumfuck nowhere, like I don't know about you, but I'm not gonna trust anyone who's like, oh yeah, this is totally pasteurized, and it hasn't been sitting here, unstable on shelf for 3 weeks.
I mean, they lived there for how long? So, like, I would trust them. They all seem like nice people.
No, they
And
didn't.
was it
They
Nilbog?
Neil
Nope.
Bog.
Nilbog?
Yeah, yeah. Nilbog. Yeah, no, none of them seem nice. They pulled up and they're like, "Hey, we're so happy to be sharing our house," and they're like, "We'll see you later. Don't break anything." And he's like,
So,
"Well, you'll really like it," and they're like, "Shut up." Like, that relationship was not friendly.
So you guys are a little older than me, we'll just say.
Mhm.
Do girls really
The
wear that
fuck?
stuff at the gym back in the day? Like that she was wearing while she was working out?
No, no.
Only in
That
She was very
movies?
that was more of like the TV movie stuff, like
yes,
Flashdance and
yes,
all that stuff.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
And
sadly.
let me tell you, she was very unhealthy. Your hip bones are not supposed to protrude and be that have your skin that tight over your hip bones. Like that was
She was a little thin. Yeah.
yeah, she needed a sandwich or two. Like that was very unhealthy.
Well, her
I
brother
love
pissed on the sandwiches, so no wonder she was thin.
That's true,
yeah.
yeah. She's malnourished because she has an asshole brother that keeps peeing on everything.
I I love when they were in the car and they were arguing and then the mom just like yells back to the kid just like, "Hey, sing that
Sing a
song we
song!
love." And it's just like, "I don't want it." It's like, "Sing the song." And I'm like, "Okay, what's it going to be?" It's like, "Row, row,
Row,
row
row,
your." And it's like, "Oh, for."
row.
And then somehow they all just start singing. I was like, "Oh man. This is awesome.
So
This is so good."
so I will tell you, Presto. I made one of my other coworkers watch this today or a couple days ago during his lunch break because I
Mhm.
was like, oh yeah, you should watch these. They're horrible. And he watched, and when he got to the row, row, row your boat part, I think he about lost his shit.
Probably pissed himself.
He was like, "What? Sing that song. Sing the one I like. Row, row, row." You like that? Oh God!
Did he
He
like
Grandpa.
just
it?
stopped. He's like, "What? What happened?"
So
Uh,
Fuzzy, what part caused your anger? Because he wasn't angry at the screen. He was angry at us for making him watch
Like
this.
I knew it was a setup. It was like, yeah, this is going to be a terrible movie, and I had like a certain bar of what I thought would be terrible, and this fell below it like a good bit. Like it's like somebody took a saw to the bar and just like, you see that it's on the floor. Yeah, dig a hole. Like no,
Fuzzy, Fuzzy, would you say it was like if someone stood up on the table and pissed all over your Cheerios?
something like that. Yeah, that would be a
Okay.
start.
and
I mean, the
and
first
then he
troll to
got
me wasn't too bad. Like, I get it, the fantasy stuff, yeah, and the little like goblins or trolls coming out of like turds, basically that the people were turned into. That I won't say it was believable or anything along those lines, but it was acceptable, and everything was contained within that apartment building. And then you had the crazy neighbors
uh-huh.
that were transformed, and it's like I'm surprised the armor guy was like, oh crap, this little girl threw me over the couch, let me try and shoot her. And yeah, that didn't work out too well for him. But and then the brother getting tossed around I think twice by his sister, like, you're
Mhm.
not telling dad something, like, dad, I think we like at least like, hey, we should buy some spinach because sis is over here like flipping me over the couch with one
Uh-huh.
pinky or something. Like there's
Uh-huh.
some stuff going on. But the
She
this
she threw him everywhere. That was
Yep.
He was a little bitch. I mean, what do you want?
damn.
but yeah, the second one, just, the kid was annoying from start. And when he peed on the food, I actually kind of cheered inside because I was like, hey, this is going somewhere. Like, I guess he's the only one that sees grandpa still, and grandpa somehow is warning him about the food. And I I don't know. I think if my child was acting out and peeing on the food, I think, well, first of all, I'm not doing a house swap. I'm just not. I'm not doing that. We could do an
We established
Airbnb.
that
Y'all
earlier.
ain't coming to my house. Sorry, no, 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 we're not doing that. And then, secondly, when the kid starts pissing on stuff and he has never done anything like that before, like, real talk, are you having a nervous breakdown? And if he doesn't tell me about seeing grandpa and whatever grandpa's telling him, and even then it'd be like, okay, you're seeing grandpa. Okay, we got to get you committed, boy. There's
Yeah, but they
something going
already
on here.
knew. They already knew he was seeing grandpa and he kept on telling them that was the opening of the film.
And they
So they
completely
already knew
ignored
he was
him.
seeing Grandpa.
I think the vacation would have been canceled to have him committed. That would have been probably a better,
Well, then where would Trolls 2
alternative.
be?
Well, since they weren't related at all, it would have been fuck all just right where it was. Well, it was stayed.
I don't know. It this was just so weird. Like, I don't know. There were so
But
many crazy things, like the people throwing them a festival in the house. The whole
uh-huh.
town is in the house. Oh, we're glad to see you. We're glad you eat these cakes and stuff. Like, none of y'all are eating this stuff. Y'all are dancing around trying to get us to eat. That would be a red flag. I don't know. Just the whole town was a red flag to begin with. But
You're
So
only
this is
saying
where the
that because you know
stereotypes
how it ends.
but this is where the stereotypes come in because it's a white family.
Hmm,
You know, can you see any other nationality doing a house swap?
I
probably
don't think
not.
I could even see white people doing a house swap like that. It
Yeah.
just feels
Well,
weird.
there was a lot of white families doing that wife swap.
Yeah, but they were fucked up in the head already, anyways.
Yeah,
Like
that's
Okay.
some
Well,
that's
white
a that's
yeah.
a
That's like the
white people
extended
shit.
swinger family or something. What the?
yeah, doing a wife swap thing versus like doing a swap where you introduce people to a bunch of trolls. That's a different thing.
It's a different thing.
Hey, that's somebody's kink. Somebody's kink. I don't know.
Corey
Yeah, man,
Feldman was on Wife Swap.
that
Yes.
doesn't
Well,
surprise
that
me
was
at all.
celebrity. That was
Celebrity.
celebrity wife swap.
Oh.
And
Well,
women.
he's had a rough handful of years, so
Well, yeah, we know that. But
I
but
met.
wait a minute. Who else was on there? Who else was on Celebrity Wife Swap?
Was it Flavor Flav?
Flavor
right,
Flav.
Ryan
Yeah,
And he
Bridget
Seacrest.
Nielsen or something, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Um
they were fun. They were a fun couple.
yeah. Yeah, they were. But here's the thing though. So he Flavor Flav is like a big baby, right? He's a big kid and he wants what he wants and his woman, I think they were girlfriend and boyfriend. They're not really married. She pretty much caters to him. And the wife that swapped with him, the celebrity wife, I can't remember who it was, but was like trying to get rules in the house because none of them had rules,
I
including Flavor Flav. Nobody had any rules. It's like do whatever
want to
you
go
want kind of
skydiving.
thing.
I want to go
Yeah.
skydiving. I want to go
And that's what he
skydiving.
wanted. He kept on saying, I want to go skydiving. I want to go skydiving. While this woman is trying to explain what he has to do in order to go skydiving. He's like one of my students that wants what they want and wants to drown you out until you say yes. That's what he's like.
Mm.
That would drive me insane.
Yeah, yeah, I can't argue with that.
Mhm.
I got nothing.
So everybody find the celebrity wife swap with Flavor Flav in it. It's very entertaining. Very entertaining. But besides that, what other okay, and let's look at this. How many people in the 80s, almost 90s, were sending their kids to mental institutions?
Probably not a lot.
Not a lot, right? If you didn't go to juvie first, you weren't in a mental institution. Yeah.
Hmm.
Because that's taboo. You don't want your kid having the stigmatism of that, right? The stigma of that. So yeah, this is where um, all of these things have those stereotypes just thrown in there. It was kind of great in the 80s looking back. Now you see all the stereotypes, you see all of the misogyny, you see all of the, culture and stuff like that. Um, you see it now and you're like, now we understand why this younger generation is speaking out on it, but at the same time it's still fun to watch it, isn't it?
I
Not
guess.
bad.
Not bad.
Not
I'm
bad.
nervous to respond.
Come on, The Breakfast Club. What else? What else?
Oh, that's not kids of today.
No, kids of today are trying to
They're older
cancel
than
that
us.
stuff. They're trying to cancel
Oh,
that
okay.
stuff. Even Molly Ringwald is trying to cancel some of the movies that she was in because she's like, I wouldn't want my daughter to watch this.
Because they suck.
Well, then don't.
Don't
Then
let her
don't let
watch
your
it.
kid watch it. Shit.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
I'm
My
saying.
goodness.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yes, it is much watched for all the wrong reasons. Troll 2. That's its claim to fame, right?
Ooh, I don't know
Yeah,
about that.
it just doesn't line up with the first one, which would be fine. But just knowing the backstory of like the writers for this, I don't
Yeah,
know.
but
It
originally, the original title of this was Goblins. It was Goblin, but they changed it because they knew it wouldn't sell as Goblin. They wanted to attach a movie title that they thought was at least respectable, and that's why they attached Troll 2 to it. Um, I guess back then copywriting names was not as big as it is today, maybe.
mm,
That
I
reminds
don't
me
know.
of that reminds me of what they did with Halloween Ends. If you've seen that movie, chat. If any of you have seen that movie, um, that feels like it was not originally made to be a Halloween movie. That felt like someone was like, "Hey, I got a script for a horror movie," and
Hmm.
Blumhouse was like, "Hey, I know how we can shoehorn this in to be the new script for the next Halloween movie." And I don't have any script at the moment, so we should use this to make it a Halloween movie. Because that's what that felt like. It's the same type of thing, right? It's like, hey, if we name it something different, this isn't
Hmm.
gonna gain any traction. But if we put a name that's well known, then
Yeah,
it'll actually sell some tickets.
that's what they did back then. I mean, nowadays it's taboo to do that because you there's more, I guess, the the director and the producers and everybody's attached to it. Now they have more say in it per their contracts. Um, because they're writing that stuff in instead of trying to get the green all green M&Ms being taken out and put in a bowl for the artist or for the director. Now they're asking for real stuff, and that is can't use my likeness. You can't use the title of the movie. Just randomly use it because it's attached to me now, and I don't want you using it unless I want you using it. So I think that's what people are asking for, and I think that's what they're getting. But back in the 80s, didn't matter.
Hmm, okay.
Yo, Fuzzy,
Yeah.
go to private. Somebody has some
I
questions.
no, I'm answering.
Okay.
I
I
mean,
never
Trolls
know. Go ahead.
Trolls 2, I don't know. It's very interesting for people to watch Troll 1 and Trolls 2 and to hear their views on it. Like, I think we're all agreeing it's no masterpiece.
Mhm.
Maybe a little short of a masterpiece, but it's working on it. I mean, the movie is so bad that you almost forget how bad some of the scenes are. Like you
Mhm.
almost justify like, well, that wasn't that bad because this scene just happened, or this acting wasn't that bad because this happened. Like we talked about a little earlier. Like, how do I stop them from eating? Like the whole time he's talking to his grandpa, who only he sees,
Uh-huh.
trying to figure out how to get them to stop eating when he's like, stop eating, and then somehow the grandpa can make them all freeze. And that seems even funny because like you see like them all shaking, trying to be still, and the kids trying to act, and like it's just like, how do I get them to stop? And it's just one thing after another that happens where it's just like, wow, that was bad. Then the next scene happens, it's like, oh wow, that one's actually a little worse, and then something else happened. Like the daughter when she was dancing. Like I'm
Mhm.
like, yo, she's doing TikTok before this thing was TikTok. Like She kind of had the music, doing her own moves. Like she was doing basically TikTok. And then just like I love when they go to the church. Like
Mhm.
whoever went in that church, no one found it odd that there was just like trees, a bed right there, that
Mhm.
crazy fucking woman. Like it just was like, oh, this is normal. It's like maybe something should have been a red flag there. I don't know. And then all of a
But
sudden,
what about the clover leaf scars or whatever? How was that connected to goblins?
it
Yeah, the
wasn't. It was
the the
just
facial STD.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it showed that they were all connected somehow. That was about the only thing I could piece together. It's like, oh,
But
they're all goblins. That was
why
like the
a
mark of the
four leaf
goblin.
clover? But why a four leaf clover?
Because trolls and goblins are the most leprechaun similar
There you
cousin
go.
or something.
That's not a leprechaun.
Felt like a stretch. Felt like a stretch. Yeah, that was a little weird. All I could come up with is like, okay, maybe they think because they're a cousin of a leprechaun and or they chose to use green a bunch. So maybe that's what they were going for. I don't know.
But it, like you said, it had nothing to do with the movie. It was just like, oh well, I guess they're all kind like you figured they were the bad people, but they really never went into depth like how you got that or
Mhm.
anything. It just was like, oh,
You
they're
have
bad.
sex with a goblin.
Well, no wonder why it's on. Like it's like a proud mark. Like it's on your face, on your neck. Like, yo, did you? And you can't even lie because it's like, yeah, I see it. Like
Dude, that thing
you
looked
took one.
inflamed. I don't know if I'd say that was a proud mark. That
Well,
looked like
he
gonorrhea herpescephalus simplex 6.
maybe he just slept with the goblin. It's still new. It needs to heal a little, kind of like a
Huh.
tattoo. Like I don't know, man. It just maybe it was a skin tag that they transformed into a four leaf clover. I don't know. Like it was a weird town, man.
It was
Bro,
like a
look up
gum
Very
the
weird.
tattoo, but
scabies.
it was a birth defect kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, like an
broke up
inbred
scabies.
family.
Yeah,
All
that was.
right. So there are so many parts in here. So many parts that you're just curious about. Like, how would they come up with that?
The budget.
Well,
Damn.
Because
I will.
that's where I'm sitting. I don't know how they managed that budget. Ooh.
Remember, I told you that everybody pretty much, all the higher ups pretty much were Italians, spoke Italian and stuff like that. The only person that spoke English on the whole thing was, I think, the costume designer was the only one, and so she had to talk to the cast. The director had to talk to her. Then she would have to talk to the actors,
I mean,
and then they got
yeah,
one scene at a time. Like they would
but
just get that day's scenes or whatever, and that was it. And I doubt they were in order.
wouldn't
Yeah.
you be like, as you were putting this thing together and you're seeing your bank account slowly dwindle? Wouldn't you be like, hey, I think we need to get this thing out the door, and maybe it's not worth $2 million? I think was the budget for the first one.
Was it? Let me see.
I
Wow.
think so, and then I think it was 500,000 for the second. And the
On a
second one took a whopping $13,000 in
Yeah.
domestically.
damn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
Yeah.
I can't believe that many people passed up such an awesome film.
I know, right?
Mm.
It's
I mean, someone said, "Do I give it a 1 because it was so bad or a 10 because it was so good?" And if you think about it, like they kind of got a point. It's like you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, was it the worst or was it a masterpiece? Like, I
I
don't
Yeah.
think I
know.
just threw up in my mouth.
I
See, you
mean the
just
room. I mean the room, right? This could
Yeah.
be along the same lines as the room.
No, no,
No.
nope, nope. Don't besmirch the good name of the room and tie it to this lump of charcoal in the stocking of Christmas. No.
I mean,
Don't be that guy.
well, she's a woman, so I don't think she will. Was the room filled in Utah? No.
No, and it made it way better, I would argue.
Mhm.
We finally let you have one nice thing, and you shit on it. This is why you don't have
No, no,
nice
no, no.
things.
No, this is why we didn't have nice things is because you didn't give us a nice thing. You're like, hey, look at this polished turd that we're going to give you. And we're like, we don't want it. And they're like, well, we're filming it here in Utah anyways. And we're like, we don't want it. And they're like, well, we're only spending 500,000. We're only going to be here for 4 days filming. So just tolerate us being here. And, so we just let it slide, I guess.
Man.
So there was one person. Remember when you guys were like the whole cast didn't show up, so they took the extras? There was
Mhm.
Yeah.
one person that I guess found the script intact and read it and didn't show up for work. And that's how Donald Packard got his job. You know, the crazy store owner?
Mhm.
Sure.
So there was one sane person that was attached to this film.
Ah,
I mean,
that blows
everybody
my
needs to
mind.
read. Yeah, everybody needs to read some of these trivia things on the Troll too, because it is hilarious.
Man,
It is
if
hilarious.
anything, you just got to go through the quotes alone for both movies,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
I may have thought both of these were heaping piles of garbage, but man, some of the quotes that came from these films, like I I have been trying to find for the last couple days the quote about Hiroshima from the first film. It is
Mhm.
very hard to find that. But man, if you find that scene and you go back and you watch that moment in time, that
Mhm.
is that is jarring. Like that experience, that little conversation between the two of them when she brings up Hiroshima is like it puts chills down your spine. You're like, what?
Mhm.
What?
Mhm.
Why did that come up? Why? I don't know.
Yeah.
That set the tone right there.
Oh, it set tone, all right. Definitely did.
I don't know. You guys, just a bunch of haters.
No, I just this movie was one of those where I did start falling asleep towards the end
Oh yeah, and I
just
woke
for
him
the.
up.
Hmm. Yeah, you probably should have just let me be.
He regretted that.
I think there was a moment where they ran up the stairs, and I'm like, no, don't run up the stairs. It's just going to extend the movie. If you run to the car, you're. I don't know. Didn't that's right? Didn't the car catch fire, or am I confusing that with something else right now?
It,
Because it just kind of blew by for a bit. I think
I,
they set the car on fire. It was like part of Grandpa's thing with the Molotov, and then the one guy caught
yeah,
Yeah,
fire.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Did,
It
did
did
they
catch
shoot the
fire.
car or set the van on fire or something? Or
They set it on
I don't
fire, I
know.
think.
uh,
I mean, it was kind of like that when it came out. All right, so I'm gonna let you know this. Remember that costume designer that I was talking about? She was the only one that knew English.
mhm.
Yeah.
Guess what her claim to fame was before she became a costume designer? Remember, she's Italian. I mean, sorry. Remember, she's Indonesian born, hanging out with Italians.
She founded Olive Garden.
She made breadsticks. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
All right, you remember the Emmanuel series?
No,
No.
You guys don't remember the Emmanuel series?
I
I
think
was
I know
not a
what you're talking about.
16-year-old teen woman.
Fuzzy
No, no,
remembers
no. It's a Showtime or what I would refer to as Show Me
that.
Time type of classic that used to be on after hours.
Showtime. Oh, okay.
Yeah, softcore.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, let's keep going. What
Yeah.
about this?
So Emmanuel's about this promiscuous journalist that she has other things like I think one of them she's kind of like a kept woman and stuff like that, and she's exploring her sensuality and stuff like that.
Wait. A kept woman?
Yeah, you don't know what a kept woman is?
Like
No,
almost
no,
like
humor me.
a trophy wife in a way,
Yes.
kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. So these were kind of famous Italian skin softcore porn kind of flicks that were from 1970s and 1980s. She was the original.
Hmm.
So the
Yep.
costume person was the original Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, yes.
Blows my
Interesting.
mind that we didn't see more nudity in these films.
More. There was like
Makes
none.
I
The
know, I
popcorn
know.
scene should have had some, but
I
hey,
think we saw like shoulder. That was about the extent. It was filmed
Well, we
in
saw
Utah,
legs
and they
too.
treated the nudity just like it was filmed in Utah.
Yes, yes, they did. We saw legs though. We did see the girl's legs.
Uh, we also
No.
saw the lady's funky ass teeth. That didn't make it better.
So this was filmed in what 1989 or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So it originally had a 0 rating in Rotten Tomatoes, and then in July 2014, it went up to a 6% rating.
What? Oh,
Yes,
wait, how
that's
much did it have
bullshit.
originally?
0.
a 0.
A 0 to a 6. Someone got paid.
I mean, the new Snow White is like a 1.7, so
I never watched it, so
I didn't
I
even.
don't know about
That's
that.
Sorry,
That
it's a
sounds about accurate.
1.6.
Uh,
huh.
so this is 6 times better than, or at least 5 times better than Snow
Then a
White.
Disney movie
Yeah.
with a
Man.
huge budget. Suck on that.
I think I just threw up in my mouth again.
I don't think you guys appreciate this stuff, the finer things in life.
Oh,
What did the father call his daughter's boyfriend? Was he a do nothing or no good or something? What
Something
was
like that.
this?
something, yeah.
Like
Even those interactions were weird. It was like, if you want to be my dog, you gotta come here. And then like the mom, when the boyfriend finally like comes to the house, the mom like throws shade at him, and the daughter's just like, "No, we love each other." She's like, "Oh, welcome to the family," and it was just like such a flip of a light switch, and it was just like, "Oh, he picked me instead of his friends. Now we're madly in love," and it's like, what the fuck? He doesn't know
yeah,
what he
after he
wants.
abandoned his friends and getting one of them turned into a tree and the other one was like overdosing on bad food and free milk or something.
They
Yeah.
said
Just
They said that guy in the tree, he was stuck like that for 14 hours while shooting. Can you imagine that shit? That would be horrible to be stuck in that planter like that for 14
Oh
hours.
yeah, 14 hours.
Yeah.
They had like special shoes that were glued in to the potted plant and stuff like that, and I couldn't imagine.
No, I
That
was just
looks
like,
super unpleasant.
uh, yeah, I'm sure he got made bank for that doing that.
Yeah, $5.
And
you'll
some,
get a portion of the proceeds from the movie. Whatever
Yeah,
profits we
exactly.
make, you get 80%.
You
80%
gotta
of
check. You gotta
$13.
check. You gotta check in the mail that was like, you owe us $13.
well, just know, because we all watched it, they're probably going to get some fat check next month from us.
20
Mhm.
cents.
Yep. We're like, man, some more people must have watched it. Wow. I could
He
buy a
can
piece of
afford
bubble gum.
half a gumball. Yeah, yeah. That's high
Uh,
living right there, man.
Damn, you guys just don't. I respect your opinions.
His his check is gonna be about the same as what I just found on the curb when I was walking out of work a few days ago.
Uh-huh.
So that's pretty amazing.
with,
Not to
with the budget,
downplay his role, his amazing role.
I'm just trying to figure out with the budget they had, how did they get the Winnebago and the Astro van? Like that blew half their budget right there, I think.
They had someone carjack it. It
Oh,
was, it was Utah, dude. They were filming most of this in Morgan. They probably just went over and were like, "Hey, can I borrow your keys to the car for a minute? I'll have it back in like 10 minutes. They're like, yeah, okay, that sounds good. Hey, you're my cousin, right? Like, yeah, yeah, I am. All right.
Uh,
I'm just feeling like you're so bitter because you
Yes,
auditioned and you weren't picked.
I auditioned at 3 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Checks out.
mm,
You were gonna be the third kid.
yeah.
The third kid. Yeah, I was instead of taking a piss on their food, I was gonna shit all over it.
Something.
I'm gonna rub my stinky diaper all over that food.
Oh man.
I
Yeah.
don't,
So
I don't even know.
here's the funny thing. As I'm reading some of these things about the director and stuff like that, can you guys solve a, I don't know, maybe based on your opinion or whatever, but why does this guy keep on changing his name as director in his films?
Because he didn't want people to catch the stench of his previous films. And
Because
it's like when Lionsgate gives you like Plan B Studios and they release a
uh-huh,
giant dumpster fire, and then
uh-huh.
Lionsgate releases another one a few years later that's like Project Brilliance. And they get a good budget. It's because
Mhm.
if you change your name over and over again, then people are gonna ignore it and give you a budget again because they don't realize you're tied to that previous failure.
Yeah, because
Hmm.
he's got, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to find this other one. So he directed Zombie 4. And yeah, I'm trying to find it right now. So he did direct Zombie 4. He also directed it was called Zombie 4 After Death. Um
Hmm,
as Claude Anderson or Clyde Anderson.
hmm,
And Zombie 4 was based off of the
Zombie 3.
yeah, well, no, the zombie series, and stuff like that. Because remember I said about playing on names and stuff like that. Um, so there was a movie called Zombie, and then they came out with the second one. I don't know if they necessarily came out with a third one, the original director, but the writer is also his wife almost every single time.
hmm.
His wife, what?
Yeah, his wife is also the writer
Oh.
on a lot of these things.
Yeah.
Are
They
you saying like,
embezzled the money, is what she's saying.
oh, I thought she was like talking about Rob Zombie and Sherry Moon, where he like always puts her in all of his movies.
Well, actually, she doesn't want to act.
It
He,
shows.
It shows 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. She
Fuck
was good in the
each one
first
of those
one.
shows. Oh,
I'm sorry. I think she was good in the first and second one.
Of what? First
A
and
little,
second
little
what?
over dramatic in the third.
first and second, what, like minute?
Not really, really.
Sorry, I feel like I got some really angry, like, old man yelling at cloud energy today. My apologies. I'll sit back and just let you go for a minute.
She's not that bad. Come on now. She plays baby very
Oh,
well. Anyway, um, but no, I don't understand. You have a horrible movie enough for you to change your name and say that it's not you directing this and make up a whole new name. At the same time, every time your wife's the writer, you think at some point somebody would be like, "No, I'm not doing this." I don't know.
Yeah, tax evasion. I don't know.
There you go.
Maybe he's doing some money laundering. I don't
Mm,
know.
I don't know. I just think that one of them would have been like, "No, this. I don't think this is a good idea for me to write this or direct this after you wrote this." I don't know.
No, like I said, they're probably doing some money laundering for the family in the old country, and he has to change his name for tax evasion purposes. So yeah,
Well, he seems to
or
have
for
3 names.
witness protection. I don't, maybe.
Well, he only seems to have 3 names. His I guess his birth name. No, he's got 3. I mean, he's got 3 additional.
Mm.
Looks like Drake Drake Floyd is the one for Troll 2. Clyde Anderson, he's used several times. And then there is an Italian one that I can't pronounce. But he really likes Clyde Anderson more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I
The
just
world will never know, just like the Tootsie
yeah.
Pop.
No, I think he's still alive. I think he's still alive. We could ask him.
Sure, he's not
Mm.
doing anything.
Yeah. He's not
Call him
doing
up, be
anything.
like, "I have a movie pitch for you." Wait, what?
Yeah, he's 73 years old. We can ask him. Oh yeah, I'm sure he'll get funding for any movie pitch as long as he gets royalties from it.
I mean, it's all about the money, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of want to see some of his German/Italian versions.
Mm.
Apparently, he made one with Nazis in it. Can't go wrong with Nazis, right?
I guess they're the
You
replacement for the trolls.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just throwing it out there. Action and horror, hand in hand with Nazis, right? That's an easy kind of setup.
Mm.
Remember
it's
Puppet
something.
Master? Yeah, remember Puppet Master? They had a Nazi one.
Mm.
Cypher probably never saw Puppet Master. Somehow he misses all the classics. No Killer Clowns from Outer Space, no Puppet Master.
Oh yeah, we have
Base
to get him to watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, unfortunately he just doesn't know what's good anymore.
So I think he said he's going to be right back. Let me see.
You know,
7:22. Yeah,
just
there you are.
because I stepped away for a second doesn't mean I can't hear you. And yes,
That
I
sounds like
did
me in
see
the
a couple of the
classroom.
Puppet Master movies. And the one
Oh, you
that you
did?
were referring to is Puppet Master The Littlest Reich, the
Oh
one with the
yeah.
Nazis.
Oh, so he has seen something of a classic.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
He has redeemed himself.
Hey,
Whoa,
I
whoa,
I
whoa!
didn't I
Let's
didn't
not.
live I didn't grow
Oh.
up on the Coors banquet that is Troll 1 and 2, but I still watched some decent movies.
And you also missed a lot.
Uh-huh.
Well, I never saw these previously, and I can safely say I didn't miss anything.
Correct, because
I
you
would
now seen them.
I would disagree.
Well, I gotta say, going into this episode, I did not think that we were going to be a split decision on our opinions with this film.
It looks like 50-50 right now. Let's
Yeah, I
see.
know. It's terrifying. It makes me lose faith in humanity.
It would be like if other people seen it in the chat, it'd be good to see what they would rank it out of 10. Just to kind of.
I can't wait.
Come
I
on,
can't wait.
everybody in the chat, say what your rating is. We're
Yeah,
gonna throw it out
chat.
to the audience.
Anyone in here that has seen it, yeah, tell us what your opinion is. If you haven't seen it, it's on Tubi for free. So
Uh-huh.
go watch it. Experience
And
the horror.
Now, also make mention if you partaked in any beverages or edibles or anything, any substances prior to watching it to go along with that score. Because I think if it's anything
Yeah,
above a 5, other than in ingest kind of thing,
suspect.
yeah, there might have been something consumed prior. You're just kind kind of make it more enjoyable at the time. I don't know.
Mhm.
I just like, to me, this movie was definitely not what I was expecting. And
What were
Fee,
you expecting?
well, Fee was saying, I want you to compare this to the summer camp thing. And I'm
Yes.
like, at least with summer camp, you knew they were using green screens or whatever intentionally. Like, it was almost like you could tell they were so unserious about making the movie. That's why it was as bad as it was. This movie, it looked like they actually tried to make a movie, and boy, did they made something. And I know you guys enjoy it just for probably the laughs or how outlandish it is and how out of sync it is with the first one. But like for me, if they had at least gone into the same or similar vein as the first one, um, maybe I would have enjoyed it a little bit more. I don't know. I was just waiting for one of the trolls to hop in the vehicle and run the little kid over, since he keeps on seeing grandpa and he keeps on ruining, their tree fest or whatever, turning these people into, shrubs to eat them, or green piles of goo, which
Hmm.
I guess, do you turn into green piles of goo if you eat too much, or do you, become the tree and then become the green puddle later, or are they still working on the formula of the crazy food that they try to feed people? and
I
and
think the
sometimes they want the goo, sometimes they want the tree. I
I,
don't
I
know.
I I think it depends on what the witch. Well, and that's another thing. They're trying to claim that they're druids, and yeah, druids don't do that. Um, so yeah, it's kind of like with the druid slash witch or whatever she was. I guess it depended on what she was trying to create or give them. I think with the tree, she did something else to make him into a tree.
Mm,
Because she was like, drink your broth kind of situation. Whereas the
mm,
other one, she just turned into the green goo because I guess she ate more.
mm.
And so I don't know. Like I said, the lore was not there, and they weren't druids. I don't know any druids that use potions and stuff like that. Like, yeah.
I mean, the only druids my only reference to druids is what's in Diablo. The werebear and bears and wolves, transformations kind of thing. But that's
Uh,
video game stuff, so yeah, take it with a grain of salt. But
yeah.
yeah, that whole church, just, it was a bunch of weirdness, and not what
Yeah.
I would expect from a church. But then again, you know, people turning into trees and being edible. Like, I guess only trolls or goblins eat trees. But then again,
Goblins,
I
not
guess that
trolls.
that okay. So goblins eat trees, and
I have no idea
the
what goblins.
writer's friends are vegetarians. I wonder if they actually saw this movie, and if that
Well,
was like you said, to scare them from eating, fruits and berries, or plants or whatever type of thing. But
okay, so let's establish something, okay? I don't know where goblins came from, but trolls are real, okay? Trolls live under bridges and they scare people into giving them money. Otherwise they can't go over the bridge. Um,
mhm,
Yeah,
fairies are
yeah,
real. Fairies
yeah.
are real and they can be nasty. Elves are real and they're real nice. They help
Mhm.
with the trees and stuff and the garden. But goblins aren't real. I don't know who came up with this goblin thing. They don't work
No,
in
they're real.
where?
Haven't you ever heard of Goblin Valley?
Where? Where's Goblin
in
Utah,
Valley?
Utah,
Nilbog.
in the same place that they ended up filming this movie.
Yeah.
Okay,
Surprisingly,
okay. Let me tell you something. Utah's a strange place.
Mhm.
you got that fucking right.
I don't trust
You
Utah.
don't even know.
They got
Oh
goblins
boy,
and Mormons. Like that's scary.
yeah, it is.
All right, we got some
Apologies,
ratings in.
Mormons.
We got some ratings in. Okay, so the first rating is Troll 1, 5, and Troll 2 isn't on the rating scale.
Man, Melissa is tripping. That's
Melissa is
Cypher's
tripping.
friend.
Five for Troll 1? You are high. You are delusional.
All right, let's go to the next one. So the next one is Astro Vader. 2.
I look forward to you trying to decipher this.
Yeah, I guess 2 for Troll 2.
2. I think that's I think that's what
I
we're
think
going
that's
with.
what it is. 2 for Troll 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
So let's see. Let me see any other readings.
I think someone
Oh,
said
here we go. Here we go.
-7.
Yeah,
There we go.
Clifton.
Yeah.
So 2, maybe a 3 for Troll, and a -7 on Troll 2. So we
That
going
checks
in
out.
negative numbers.
Yep.
Going in
Clifton's
negative numbers
the
here.
only based rating in there so far.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we got
-7, yeah.
3. Up. Here we go. Here we go. I give Troll 2
Ooh,
a
a
7.
Oh,
7.
oh, oh,
And he
Oh,
called you out, Fuzzy. He called you out.
oh,
he told you to eat a bag of dicks, Fuzzy.
oh, Russian, you are hurting me right now. That
Oh.
7.
My
A
man.
7.
You mean surely Eppinger means 7 out of 100.
No,
Clearly.
Oh man, oh man.
trolls or leprechaun? Which one is worse?
Oh, trolls all day.
Yeah, but it's hard because trolls they only made 2. Leprechaun they made 6, 7. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Trolls 1
Yeah.
and
And a
2
reboot.
both felt like they were each a week long. So
Each a week long. Like
I
Summer
mean,
Camp
you figure
Extra.
like Troll is way longer than the Leprechaun series.
I guess
Yeah.
that's true. Leprechaun did smoke weed with Ice Cube, where Troll never did that.
Nope,
Yeah.
they didn't have the budget for it. They spent all their money on green milk.
Oh man.
All right. So we got another a nice IGN 7.
In IGS.
Yeah. He was clarifying it's an IGN 7.
Oh,
Doesn't
Okay. Yep.
what's
And
an
That
then-
checks
IGN?
out.
What does that even mean?
IGN rates video games on a weird scale. If they're by Xbox and they're a good game, it's a 7, which is deemed kind of low, but it's still good. If it's a terrible game, but they want to be nice to the developers because it's not from Xbox, they'll give it a 7. So it's kind of a weird dynamic with IGN. But normally a 7 by IGN standards is bad. It's not. It's something you play because you were told you had to play it, as opposed to something you wanted to play, kind of.
That's how Trolls 2 is. Like, you watch it because you have to watch it, not because you want to watch it. So he might have
That's
actually
accurate. That's
he actually
accurate.
kind of might
Yeah.
be the most realistic rating right here because like
Yeah.
No.
Troll.
So we have.
What is that? Is that a -10 for the first one?
Oh no. We'll get to that in 1 second. But
Oh,
so Astro Vader was saying an IGN 7 is like a normal 5 to 6.
5 to 6, yeah.
okay.
So let's go back up to this one. No, he's saying that Troll is a 10 and Troll 2 is a 0.
No, negative 10.
Yeah, he did say negative. They did say -10, or maybe
We're going with
Why would he rate Troll 2 higher by giving him a 0?
No. He gave Troll 2 a 2.0, which is like
oh, it
I think
means
that's
that
what
for
the
the
cool kids are saying.
so the 2 movies they made were solid, so they're 2-0 with making movies.
I
Got
just
it.
threw up in my mouth again.
Okay, I'm reading that wrong, but anyway.
Uh,
All right, it's 7:38. I think we should rate this thing. We can't get around it. I'm not going first. Not me.
I'll be the brave soul and go
We're,
first.
we're gonna we're gonna do Fuzzy and Cipher first, and
Yeah,
then we'll do it.
I'm gonna preface it with my troll, the original rating, which I'll give that a 4/5. Like it was watchable. Probably if I had watched it when it originally came out, I would have probably enjoyed it more, kind of thing. But
Hmm.
it was okay. You know, a bit campy, corny, whatever, but watchable. Didn't fall asleep. Didn't yell at the TV. A Troll 2. Oh man. Like I thought Summer Camp was the worst movie, but it was intentionally trying to be the worst movie. This was not trying to be the worst movie, and somehow it beat out Sleepaway Camp. And I can't remember I gave that sleep camp thing, but like
Hey, 2 something or something like that.
then this is like a 1, and I'm being generous with giving it an actual number. Um, it was bad in the sense that I think if I was ever forced to watch this again, I'm I might not have to. I might have to do it at somebody else's house because I will throw things at the screen probably, and I don't want to break our TVs here. So
Yeah.
whether it's popcorn or keys, something's going at the screen if I'm forced to watch this, or I'm just going to watch or wear some shades and take a nap. But yeah, this movie wasn't for me, and I can't recommend it to anybody unless you have some adult beverages or some edibles or some stuff that you can smoke that will calm you, ease your mind, open up your mind to some other possibilities of a twisted reality where probably the best part is a little kid pissing on the family's food and an imaginary grandpa that pops up throwing Molotov cocktails at people. So yeah, that's a 1. It is, and that's not the top of the chart. That's the
A
bottom of the chart.
1
1 out of 10. Yeah.
out of all those shit movies Fee makes us watch, and you give this one a 1?
Yeah,
Are you
because that
you're
that sleep camp one just beat this out by 1 point, and that's I'm still burned on that one.
you talking about that really bad one with those 2 guys?
Yeah,
Oh no, Fuzz.
no,
No,
because
no,
at
no.
least there was the doctor or whatever that escaped from the mental institution that they kept on
He was
running
funny.
into. That part was
Those
funny,
scenes were funny.
and the father that was like pickpocketing people. That was kind of funny, but it was like I said, that was a bad movie intentionally being bad. Excuse me. This was a movie that I don't think they intended it to be bad, but I don't know. I don't know. Just
Man, I
this
was
one low light for me.
I was afraid to watch Sleepaway Camp after the conversations you guys had about it.
Hmm.
But if it rates better than this, then I'll probably watch it soon because like if this is an upper compared to Trolls 2, then I'm all for it.
Because remember, Summer Camp Massacre, I believe, was supposed to be a parody because they do a lot of parody stuff. So
Hmm.
it really is supposed to be a parody. But this one
Wait,
was not an intentional parody.
which made
No,
it even
this
better.
person put their heart and soul into no. That makes me feel worse that this thing was a pile of garbage because someone actually thought that this was going to be a good thing. Like
This
that's sad.
director,
That
this
hurts.
director got mad at the cast when it came out because everybody was giving it bad ratings. He literally is has interviews where he's side eyeing the cast. I mean, it is that bad.
Homeboy,
I
homeboy
mean,
needs to look in the mirror and
why don't
reassess some things. Then
why don't you appreciate that this director made a Criterion Collection movie with
fucking no, no,
not
no,
even be able to speak to the cast, and it
no, no,
worked.
no,
And the fact he
no.
probably edited it with not understanding anything, and it still was a
Yeah.
movie. Like,
For the record, there was not a Criterion Collection version of this movie. Don't listen to Presto.
all
Don't
right,
put this up next to other Criterion Collection movies because this is not it.
and Preston's gonna call the council that does that and make sure this is the next on the list.
And
Well, at
just
least
throw.
but what's your
nominated for an
rating?
Oscar.
Come
Who?
on, what's your rating,
Cypher?
Cypher?
Oh, Troll 1, probably a smooth 3.5, and Troll 2, a 1.
Wow.
She at least got the point for the director not being able to speak the language and still make
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
the movie. So yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
No,
Uh-huh.
I begrudgingly, I'm nice enough to give them points for this. But both of these movies were bullshit. And I don't understand how people spend money in a scenario like this. It hurts. It hurts my soul because I think of all the things I could actually use that money for, and
Mhm.
they had a kid pissing on food on the table.
You
Even the
just
kid
Like,
was shocked he could do this.
yeah, yeah. Like it hurts me. It causes me pain at night. It does.
All right, Presto.
so Troll 1, I'd probably give a 5. Troll 2, little lower. I'd probably give it like a 4.1 because
What? Oh,
it had
man.
some comedy in it. Not meant to be comedy.
Oh.
Some of the lines were so outlandish. Like, I watched it and I remembered how bad it was, and I remembered some of the funny lines in the movie that aren't supposed to be funny. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I said it, Cypher. Suck it. Deal with it.
Hey, hey. If this is a 4.1 to you, I really look forward to some of the future movies we review.
We didn't even let Fee
Uh,
discuss this yet. She's probably going to come in
oh,
here with like an 11.4.
I already knew that both of you tainted the water when you guys were talking behind the scenes, and you were like, "Yeah, it wasn't so bad." Uh, Fuzzy, you and I are gonna go both watch good movies. Well, they can watch these. We're
Yeah.
separating. We're gonna go off. There's gonna be a team A and team B.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
This.
That's right. Fuzzy won't come out of his little man cave to watch anything with me unless it's
Well,
something he wants to watch. So yeah.
No, that's not true.
Fuzzy and I are gonna play some Forza while we review movies.
Uh-huh. Yeah. That I
Oh,
believe.
ooh, why don't you guys get together and play Balatro like all the cool kids do? Balatra.
Electro is fun. If you're familiar with poker, it's fun. I suck at
Yeah,
poker, so it's like I'm still learning. Still
just
How
learning.
do
gotta
we
get
always
good.
get on video
Just
games?
gotta get good.
Hmm?
It
We get
all
on video
comes
games.
back to video
Because
games
if it's
somehow.
not Balatro, Cypher just shits on it. That's just what he does.
I feel like you invested in the Troll 1 and 2 movies, like, and you're very angry that they didn't do well.
How awesome in Troll 2 were the mask and the costumes. You had that
Yeah.
one troll goblin who was like the
Hmm.
methed out one where his eyes were like popping out of the sockets. Like that was my favorite one.
I saw a third grader. Side story. I saw a third grader walking down our block this last year. That
Mhm.
had one that looked like he had done all the Charlie Sheen drugs, including tiger's blood. Um,
A third
it
grader?
looked it looked more impressive than that mask.
Hmm. Well, maybe his dad's in the movie business.
If anything, the costumes for this movie, they they spent some money. Not a lot, but they definitely spent some money.
It was
I'll just leave
everything
it
they
at
had
that.
in the budget. That was it.
Sophie, what's your rating? Let's come on, spit it out. What you got?
Yep,
So
Come
yep.
on.
when
Start
I
preparing my
see
drink.
when I see Troll I remember a lot of things from my past when I watched it and stuff like that, and it's part of my childhood. So while you all are like low ratings and stuff like that, I think it enlists emotional value.
Oh,
So I always loved Trolls, so I'm gonna give it an 8. But
The
that's
first one?
fucking, oh
yes,
God.
the first
No,
one.
no, no, no,
You guys are
no.
putting it way after, way
This
after.
received a
I
fee. Oh man.
look. I remember Troll from the early 1990s. This was well, actually, it was before then because it came out in '86, and Emerald Video was the biggest video store at the time, and we rented it from there. So I remember sitting with my mom. I remember a lot of things that attached to this movie. So that experience was an 8 for me.
All right.
Um
Fee.
what
I don't want to be that guy to interrupt you,
Yeah.
but when was the first movie made?
I believe it was what 1986,
80,
right?
86, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
And you're giving it an 8.
Yes.
The Goonies, that released in 1985, got a
Yes.
7.7.
That's them,
The
and I would give that a
well-known,
higher rating too.
amazing Goonies, 7.7, and you put this
But
above the Goonies?
I'm not giving Goonies an 8. I'm giving Goonies higher than an 8
You're giving
because
Troll an 8.
yes, I'm giving Troll an 8, but I'm giving Goonies higher than an 8. So yes, Troll can have an 8.
There's not that much farther to go after an 8.
Would you like me to give Underground higher than a 7?
Fuck no. That was a bad decision too. God damn. Oh, my head hurts. I gotta go watch a good
All right,
movie.
all right.
Just picture the 8
Oh,
on his side as a 00, and it will make sense. I just
oh God. Oh, it hurts. It
The
hurts.
infinity symbol. All right. So now Troll 2. When I watched Troll 2, which I think was a couple years back, I watched it specifically because it was deemed the worst horror movie ever. Now we know this is not true because there have been several horror movies that I've switched off, didn't even watch, that was absolutely lower than this, right? It at least had good sound. It at least had, that. I wouldn't rate it higher than, well, I would rate it on par with Summer Massacre, which I think I gave like a 3.5 or something like that. Um, but that's because when I was going in, I was going in to see the comedic value of this movie. And I think that's what the audience watches now. They don't watch it for a horror movie because it is not scary whatsoever. They watch it because of its title, of its category that it falls in. And I think that deserves, you know, around a 3.54 because that's the purpose of the movie. But no, Trolls an 8.
okay.
So let's answer this question because I think Fuzzy touched on it. But did you guys randomly pick these movies to watch, or how do you determine what you're gonna watch? So sometimes we pick the latest and greatest, the movie that is gonna come out. Like we watched, what was the one that we watched in the theater?
The monkey.
Yeah, The Monkey. So we purposely went to the theater to watch that because it was out, it was new, and we wanted to pick something that was new. But as Fuzzy said, that sometimes we get to talking about movies and we're like, yeah, let's do that one. Let's do that one. And this is how we got Troll 2. We were talking 2 weeks ago, talking about, hey, um, Troll 2 and Cypher hadn't seen it, Fuzzy hadn't seen it.
Oh shit.
So we were like, let's have them watch Troll 2.
Yeah. Hold on. I hate to be that guy, but can you highlight Clifton's post
Yes.
real quick?
The
Oh, that's
chunky
like, yeah.
movies.
What is this now?
Instead of Chucky, he said the chunky movies.
Oh, the chunk.
Oh, best comment ever.
First off, Clifton, my apologies for roasting you on live, but that is amazing. No, the Chucky movies, the first couple Chucky movies were amazing.
Yeah.
Oh God, I can't even say it without laughing.
The chunky movies
All
were
I'm thinking
amazing.
is chunky.
Listen,
Now I just wish we got parody movies called Chunky. Oh,
Yeah.
the third Chunky, whatever, wasn't the best, but like they got a little darker then when they were like in the psycho ward and stuff, and when
yeah.
his daughter finally joined the franchise. Like, now, what about the remake with Mark Wahlberg? Not Mark Wahlberg, Mark Hamlin as the voice. Was that one just called Child Play, or
It was just child's play.
that one?
Yeah.
Uh,
It would have been a whole different experience if it had been Mark Wahlberg. That would have been amazing.
so would you rather watch Trolls 2 or that remake of Child's Play?
I would have rather a Child's Play remake with Mark Wahlberg as Chucky.
As Chunky. And
As
Chunky loses
Chunky,
weight.
yeah.
Chunky
Like,
loses weight.
hey yo, I'm gonna be your best friend till the end. Tell your mother hi.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we're not all in agreement. We are split down the middle.
Yeah.
Are we right? So yeah. So I think this was a good one. I think we should revisit some of our, beloved classics.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Presto? So that Fuzzy
Absolutely.
and Cypher can enjoy them as well.
No.
Yeah, maybe their
I think
scores
we
will
should.
change.
No. I think we should leave the classics right where they were, because if there's anything we've learned today, chat, my friends, it's that these movies do not age well.
I absolutely think this one aged perfectly.
Yes.
Hey, it aged
Yeah.
just like that unrefrigerated milk.
I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly. Yeah,
the
yeah.
clothing was
You're the
on
reason
point.
why I gotta go drink another margarita after this because wow.
But just know, I think most people in the chat would agree. No matter
Nope.
what you rate it, whether it's a 10, a -7, ATM 5, or whatever those ratings are with your video
Wait,
game
what?
people,
ATM?
whatever you guys call that shit, I don't know.
IGN, yeah.
Yeah,
IGN. Okay. Yeah.
IGN, UTI,
Okay.
I don't know, whatever. I think you all agree that you remember Trolls
Oh
2.
shit.
Like, it's a very memorable
Oh,
movie,
Yes.
and you
I'll
remember
remember it.
scenes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
I'll
seared
remember
into
it.
my memory forever.
and there's some movies that you've seen that are good that you won't remember as good as you remember Trolls 2. Like,
Oh yeah.
that
No,
director did something.
Yeah.
I'll
He
remember
did.
this. I'll remember this just like a partner being like, "What? No, you're my only one," and then you end up with herpes.
Well,
Yeah. No, I'll definitely
I've
remember
never
this for
experienced
sure.
that.
No, I haven't either, but I would imagine that would be the same amount of shock.
Oh man.
I'm not touching that one.
God
Yeah.
bless Utah for letting them film this abortion of a movie.
And for
Mm,
herpes, Utah.
And for herpes. And for herpes.
Utah, where herpes started. The
Utah,
birthplace of
the
herpes.
sponsor of herpes.
I think on
So-
quarters, that's what they say on the back.
It makes sense. Yeah, no, it makes
So
sense. It's like
Cypher.
Ooh, see, makes
EIC
sense.
and herpes.
And herpes.
Yes.
All right, Cypher, calm it
Yes.
down now.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so we could have added in how would Clean Flicks have made Troll 2 better?
I told you about Clean Flicks, didn't I?
What's clean fix?
No, I
Okay.
remember Clean Flicks. I remember it from years
Wait,
ago because I worked at
wait.
Blockbuster.
Was Clean Flicks outside of Utah? I figured that was only a Utah
Yes.
initiative.
It was a Utah initiative, but they literally had like a mail-in service that
Oh,
you
get out
could
of town.
that you
Oh.
yeah, you could mail in your video and they would change it to take out all of the parts and stuff like that that were deemed to be anti-Mormon, and they would send it back to you.
First off, I apologize because that was not what any of us wanted. That was a giant bag of horse shit.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Well, they
I
got
was
sued.
super happy. I was super happy when that little Clean Flick shop right there tied to Smith's Kroger, Kroger for you guys outside of Utah,
Oh, we have
got
Kroger's around here.
got sued right up the ass for that bullshit because you don't modify a director's original content without their permission and or without giving them some sort of payment or reimbursement for doing so. And that is exactly what Cleanflix did. They went in, modified movies without permission,
Yep.
and released it out to people to be like, hey, you can watch our rated R movies as PG or PG 13. Don't, I think if there's any takeaway from that point in time in history is don't modify an artist's view or opinion on a film or a book or whatever. Don't modify it without their approval. That was quite a time.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm super happy that got sued into oblivion because they deserved it.
But I remember that. I remember Clean Flicks.
It hurts me just even thinking about it. I was working at Hollywood Video and Game Crazy at the time that was a thing. Yeah, that hurt me a little bit.
Yeah, I was working at Blockbuster at that time.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Not as good as Hollywood, but I get it. It's fine.
Blockbuster's original.
Yeah, Blockbuster was mid, but it's
came
fine.
before
It's
Hollywood.
fine. Yeah, just because it
At
came
least
first.
it was better. At least it was better than West Coast. Remember West Coast?
Whoa! What the fuck?
Yeah, West Coast was garbage.
Well,
Presto's got
took
another
over.
opinion that does not set. Sorry, Presto.
yeah, well, you know what? No matter which one you like, none of them are around anymore. So
Yeah, I
No,
know.
True,
just
true.
like trolls.
Oh, those were
But
the good old days. Those were the good old days.
Just think, it'll come back in style in like 20 years, and there'll be pop up video stores kind of things, so you can get your popcorn. It'll be like a
That would-
nostalgia, time travel kind of thing.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
that would be
like
amazing.
Sonic.
Yeah, just like when we had the foreign section, and we had a couple of incidents where we had to have police come over and make sure that things were okay because someone was making lewd comments in the softcore foreign area. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
you refer to the foreign area. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the foreign area.
The one,
well,
the one that's divided by the little curtain.
We didn't have a curtained off area because they didn't allow those, but we had stuff like Lord of the G Strings and some of the other ones, like the Devil's Temptress and stuff. So
wait a minute. You didn't have a porn section like
no.
every
We didn't
other
have no. Utah doesn't allow that because Utah's a bunch of prudes.
Oh my god.
that have herpes.
That have herpes, apparently, thanks to Trolls 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't wait to visit you.
Well, I'll take it.
Can't even imagine. Yeah. What's that?
I said I'll take a trip out to see you. I've
Hell
never
yeah.
been to Utah.
Yeah, I'll cook you good food, and then you'll see the repression that is Utah government,
You're
So
gonna
we
and
can take
then
we can
we'll
take the
ignore
tour.
it and watch movies.
So we can take the
Yeah,
tour, right? You're gonna take us on the tour of
hell yeah,
repression and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'll show you how you can't purchase non-alcoholic beer at 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning.
Oh, okay.
whatever you cook
Yeah,
us, I'm gonna piss on it.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Thank you.
uh,
All right. So I think we should do outros before Fuzzy turns into a pumpkin, and
yeah.
my cats attack me because they have no food yet.
Mm-hmm.
They're swarming.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Cypher, go ahead. Outros.
All right. Well, you can hopefully catch me on Wednesday on the Xbox International Podcast at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this week will be when I'm hanging out with my friends over at Double Barrel Gaming on Friday morning. So catch me hanging out with Fuzzy Belvedere, Mr. Boomstick, and hopefully maybe Korkenstein,
Mm-hmm.
depending on schedules. Besides that, hopefully one of these times we're going to have some more Balatro for you guys, where I teach Crazy Louie on the Xbox International channel how to play Balatro on a Saturday morning. So keep your eyes peeled on that one. If we have an upcoming episode, we'll make sure we post it. Besides that, you can find me on social media as Silent Cipher, kind of all over the place except for Twitter. And yeah, besides that, chat, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for tolerating Presto and Fee's horrible takes on this film. And I look forward to talking to you next week. See ya.
All right, Fuzzy, go ahead.
As always, it's always fun doing this podcast with you guys, even if we can't agree on the, the movie ratings, um, or where these all fall in the top 10 worst or top 10 best kind of thing. It's still fun, just hashing it out over these funny films. But look forward to next week. Not sure what we're going to have for the film for next week, but definitely be on your P's and Q's on postings for that. But as always, if you want to hear my rambles and rants on anything gaming or movie related, just follow me on social media. Just do a search for Fuzzy Belvedere. You'll be able to find me. Later on tonight, we'll be on Xbox Ultimate on Fun Speculations channel in about an hour. We're talking about some future stuff with gaming and possibly some slander for Nintendo with the Switch 2 right around the corner kind of thing. But look forward to doing that and look forward to being here next Friday with you guys. So have a good weekend. Everybody be safe and presto. Let everybody know where they can find you and what you got going on.
I have an Instagram. Every time I try to post a link, it doesn't work. So we'll have to figure out how to put it in the chat or something. I am not going to be playing any Balatro again. I'm
The
keeping
fuck
the
you say?
I'm keeping the streak alive. I've been clean for 38 years, so I'm happy with that. Um, I might dust off the PS2 and play some Dave Mears BMX. So every time we talk about video games, I always get in the mood and then I always forget about them. So I think I might do that. I really got nothing else going on this week. Last week was kind of a busy week, so this week just kind of laying low. The weather in Pennsylvania is pretty shitty again. It almost feels like winter a little, which is weird in April. So yeah, I'm just gonna. Me and the wife started watching Love on the Spectrum on Netflix. That's a unique, fun show to watch. Some of the characters we really enjoy. I recommend it if anyone hasn't started watching it. Um, yeah, we didn't decide on the movie next week yet, so I guess we'll let everyone know when we decide on that. And
Mm-hmm.
I like when we don't all agree on a movie. It's fun, and it was the first time in the 20 episodes we've done or whatever where me and Fee have been on the same team, and it's probably the last time we're going to be on the same team. Like this was groundbreaking. This was like when the Undertaker's streak was broken at WrestleMania. Like,
Uh-huh.
It's the first time that I feel like I can't relate to Presto whatsoever.
well, yeah, because you have
Makes me
herpes.
sad. Makes me sad. Yep,
Well,
and you have film herpes, so like mine's.
you can't spell Utah without herpes.
Oh.
All right. So yeah, besides Cypher and Fuzzy's lack of appreciation for fine movies.
Jesus. Here we go.
Goes both ways. I'm on Blue Sky, and I am on Twitter. We call it Twitter. And then of course, this is the only podcast I do because I still work as a teacher. You know how hectic that can be. But besides that, you can always email me at ferociousfee78@gmail.com as well. So, yeah. But I thought it was fun doing a classic like Troll 2. We got to talk about a little bit about Troll itself. That was nice as well. We'll figure out one for next week, but next week is probably going to be a short show because my hairdresser, she had to switch my appointment. So, yeah, it happens, right?
Yeah,
So
mine too.
it's going to
I
be,
totally get it.
yeah. Yeah, I know that bald head has to be maintained. I know Fuzzy's does.
Yep.
As
Ooh.
well.
No, it's
a lot of work.
no, it's not on the head. It's on the back. My hair was afraid of gravity and heights. So
All right. So I hope everybody enjoyed this. It was great having everybody participate in rating. That was nice as well. So until next week. Bye.
Bye.
see you guys. Thank you.